Hello, welcome to my channel Devops with Prasanna. This is day 10 in Learn AWS in 30 Days series. So today we are going to talk about cost in AWS. This is one of the most important lectures because it's good, like as a person who's using AWS for learning purpose or in your day-to-day job, it is mandatory to understand what you are giving to AWS or what cost you are paying to AWS for using their service. So you definitely have to have a basic understanding of all this cost and what are the various tools available to measure the cost. So there is a saying like only what is measured can be optimized. Okay. So in today's lecture, we are going to see about the tools which we are going to use to measure the AWS cost. And in the next session, which is going to be like a deep dive into the cost, where we are going to see the ways to optimize the AWS cost. Cool. I think as I mentioned, this is most important lecture. So please don't skip this one. Watch till the end. Cool. So this is mostly going to be a hands-on session. So I just listed down the topics which we are going to have, and most of the concepts will be explained via the demonstration only. Cool. The first things first, which is the budgets. Yeah, and before going into this, I just want to mention about my goal. So I thought when starting this YouTube channel, I want to make videos continuously for 10 days and get a feedback on how it is. So this is the 10th day, and I'm glad that I could able to make it to this 10th day. And I think the most important reason is the support which you are giving in the comments or in the likes or in the subscribers count. I think that is tremendous and it is highly encouraging for me. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, we'll go into this budgets first. Okay. Okay, so when it comes to budget, the first thing which you have to go is to cost. If you search for cost, you can see billing and cost management. So go into this. And you have to go to a section called budgets, which will be in the budgets and planning. So budgets, what is meant by budgets is like you are notifying AWS that this is the amount which you want to spend to AWS to use a service. If it exceeds that amount, it will send you an alarm via email or via SMS notification or things like that. But in today's lecture, we are going to set a email notification for zero spend budget. What that means is our objective here is to set up a free tier account and to learn AWS for free. We are not going to run any production workload or things like that. So if we are using for learning purpose in free tier account, we should be aware, like even if you spend $1, okay? So that is the case. So if you spend more than $0.01, you will get an email notification. So yeah, I'll create a budget. I'll use a simple template as of now. Maybe like later sessions, we'll go into the advanced template. And that is a zero spend budget, which means AWS will notify you even if you spend $0.01. I'll say my zero spend, and then this is the email address where you want to get the alarm. So for example, I'll mention my email address. Okay, I'll do a create budget. Okay, so as soon as I create a budget, you can see the budget is $1, but the amount I use is $1.12. This is because of the recent change in AWS. So they changed their pricing for IPv4 address. So if you remember, like in our day 1 in the EC2 getting started section, I created a public IPv4 address. And if I go to AWS announcement, so you can see right from February 1st, 2024, for in-use public IPv4 address, there is a charge being allocated. So before this date, 1st February, like if you are using a public IPv4 address, there is no charge associated to this. So what this means is, if you remember, like I created a public machine allowing the public IPv4 address, and that's how I could able to talk to EC2 instance. So that is incurring some charge. And maybe I thought like I should apologize to you in case like you missed it out and you also incurred the $1 charge in your AWS account. And if you don't want to spend that amount, please send me an email with the screenshot of your AWS bill. I'm happy to reimburse that amount. Maybe you can send your Google Pay number or like any other means in which to transfer the amount. Please let me know via the email. I'll mention the email address in the description, so we can connect and we can see how to do the reimbursement. Yeah, sorry about that, but I'll update the EC2 lecture with this information also, because who is going to use the public IPv4 address, they should be aware that it's a chargeable one. Cool. So this is the reason I got charged $1. Okay. So I'm going to create one more budget, which is for monthly cost budget. Because if you remember, like I used NAT gateways and things like that, which are not available in the free tier. So what I want to do is my session budget. So I want to have a monthly session budget of $10. And if it exceeds this budget, I want to get an alert. Okay. But I'll make sure like I mentioned to you before using that service, whether it's allowed in the free tier or not. Okay. So I'll create this budget as well. Cool. So we have two budgets now. One is the zero spend. The other one is my session budget. I strongly advise you to set up these two budgets. This is to avoid any surprises which you will incur at the end of the month. Okay, so please set up this budget for your account also. Cool. This is the first topic which I want to discuss. The second one which I want to talk about is the free tier usage. Yeah. Again, like we are using AWS for learning purpose, and we have set up a free tier account, which means we should have a tool to see what is the usage of our free tier account. So if I go to free tier, you can see for each and individual service which we have, what is the current usage, what is the forecasted usage, and what is the MTD actual usage. MTD stands for month till date. For example, like in this month, till this date, this is the percentage of utilization. So we just utilize the 5% of whatever the limit available. For example, in RDS, 20 GB per month is free, and we have used 1 GB per month till now, and at this rate the forecasted usage is 8 GB per month. So approximately we'll use 40% of our utilization, which is fine. And that is like one more concept which I want to mention here. If you see this usage, like each and every service will have a different pattern for the resource usage and cost perspective. For example, RDS has 20 GB per month free, 750 hours of usage. Okay. If you see CloudFront, AWS CloudFront, it is having 1000 URLs free. And if you see something like let's say like a simple storage service, 5 GB per month is free. And CloudFront is having like this many number of requests for free. So which the underlying core concept is, each and every service will have a different way to record the usage and incur the cost. So you should be aware of the service and how they are charging, how AWS is going to charge us. Okay, so this is the objective. Cool. I think like this is one tool which you can go and check to see your current usage and what is your forecasted usage. This is cool. So this is the second tool which I want to discuss. The third one which I want to discuss is Cost Explorer. So this is something which we'll go deep into. Like it will take 24 hours once you enable the Cost Explorer to be active. So in this case, if I go into my account, I just enabled it now. So it will take 24 hours for it to activate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one more AWS account, and this is account which I'm using for to run my personal applications. Okay. So I'll go into billing and cost. If you search for cost, you'll go billing and cost management. And there is a service called Cost Explorer. This will show you a summary of how much is my total cost for the past 6 months, what is my monthly average usage and things like that. But I want to take a look at the September month where I incurred some $126 charge. So in this right hand side, you can see the date range. So the top level defines the date range and then how we can group by the things. And bottom one specifies the filters. So we are going to use both the things to understand my where I'm spending. Sorry. So I'll start from September 1st and go till September. I'll specify the granularity as daily. Okay. So you can clearly see I think the tax here is around like $20. But apart from that, the usage pattern is same. If I go to one of the days, you can see my EC2 instance usage is 2.3, and then there are remaining services available. So I know like my EC2 instance is charging a lot. What I'll do is I'll try to narrow down the EC2 instance. So I'll go to service as EC2 instance. I'll do apply. So this is a include filter, which means I just included EC2 in my result. And in the dimension, group by dimension, I just want to group by instance type. So again, like you can see, it is the same, which means I used M5 large almost all the days. And only on this particular day, September 5, I try to use T3 small along with M5 large. Okay. So you can get the information like what is the instance type which you are using and what is costing you on the daily basis. Cool. Let's say like I don't want to have the includes filter. I'll exclude the EC2 instance and I'll see what are the other charges which I'm getting. I'll group by service. Okay, it's saying like load balancer and then EC2 other. Maybe like just to confirm what is this EC2 other is, I'll group by one more dimension called usage type. Okay, maybe like I didn't get much of the information here, but you can see the load balancer is one thing, the volume GP2, which is the EBS volume as the other one. So these are the two major contributing factors. Cool. So like you can use instance type, you can use usage as a filter mechanism also, or you can use it to group by the things. And the most important things is tax, which we'll see in the cost optimization section. Like for each and every resource which you create, you should always attach a tag to it. And you can filter it based on the tax also. Like I don't have any tax as of now, but you can give the tax and you'll know like what is the exact service which is costing you the amount. So you can do all those things here. This is one important and very good tool to analyze your cost. So I just wrote a blog post some long time before. I'll put the description of this blog post in the I'll add the link to this blog post in the description. This is to explain how I reduce AWS cost from 45K per month to 29K per month, which is in dollars. To give you like a understanding, $45,000 is equivalent to 37 lakhs per month. That was an actual bill, and I reduced it to $29,000, which means it is 24 lakhs per month. I think approximately the difference is like 13 lakhs or something. So how I could able to reduce 13 lakhs at a monthly level. So this blog post will explain about this. And I've mentioned about the Cost Explorer also, how I use Cost Explorer to drill down the cost and like where the amount is being spent. Cool. So this is the third topic which I want to discuss, which is the Cost Explorer. Okay. The fourth one which I want to discuss is bills usage. Again, like this is like a extension to Cost Explorer. So if I go to bill section, this is the actual amount which I'm paying to AWS. So I'll go to the billing period, which is September 2023. Okay. So you can find some information like what is this total amount, and what is the trend, like whether it's less than like what is the trend comparing to the previous month and some things like that. But the important piece is here. So I could able to see what is my highest paying service, which is the Elastic Cloud Compute. So I paid $74 for this. For the Elastic Load Balancing, I paid $32. So like if I want to do optimization, this is a place where I'll focus on. First, I'll come to EC2. I'll see in which region the EC2 instance is running in the US East region. And I can drill down into the specifics of it. For example, I am running a on-demand Linux version of M5 large machine. So this costs $95, $69. And there is a general purpose SSD, which is a EBS volume. That is like 50 GB per month. This is coming around like US dollars, five US dollars. So that's why I incurred the $74. Again, like this gives the insights into where you are spending your amount. Okay, cool. So this is also one more tool which I want to discuss about. The next one which I want to discuss in detail is capacity estimation. So the capacity estimation is a very important technique. So as a DevOps engineer or a person who's going to deal with infrastructure, you should know how to measure your infrastructure cost. So these are the tools which we have. But before even setting up the things, you should have a way to predict this is what I'm going to spend on cloud on a monthly basis. Okay. Again, like this is a ballpark estimate. This is not the actual estimate. But if you use this kind of approach, you can use some kind of monitoring tool, like you can use CloudWatch or you can use Datadog, and you could able to measure the utilization of each and every resource. So for example, if you are underutilizing the resource, for example, EC2 instance or RDS, you can reduce the size of the EC2 instance and see how the application is performing. Okay, so you can do all those kind of things. So to come up with the capacity estimation, there is one tool called AWS Pricing Calculator. It is coming along with the AWS itself. It's calculator.aws. So maybe like I'll try to create a sample estimate. I'll say the location is Mumbai, AP South 1. So this is where I'm going to run my application. Okay. And if to run my application, what are the AWS service I need? So I'm going to need EC2 instance. I'll configure this one. So it's going to be a shared instance, which is fine. It's going to use Linux. It's going to use a constant usage. I want to make it like very simple. If you want to have a detailed understanding with an example of an actual application, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to give a capacity estimation for the actual running application. Okay, but this is going to be like a sample one. So I'll say like I want 3 EC2 instances to run, and I'll say what is my CPU capacity. So I think my CPU capacity would be like 8 virtual CPUs, and my memory would be around like 6 GB. Okay, the network performance is low to moderate. Cool. If I do this based on this filtering criteria, these are the machines available for me. So maybe I'll use C6G 2x large. Okay, I'll say like save and add the service. Cool. Then the next service which I want to give is S3. I'm going to use standard S3 standard, and then I'll say the standard storage amount. I'm going to use 50 GB per month, and the number of put requests is going to be around like 2,500. Number of get requests is going to be like 10,000. Data returned by S3 would be like, let's say 25 GB of data is pulled out of S3. And to pull out this 25 GB, let's say I'm going to scan 35 GB of data. maybe like I'll just ignore the data transfer, or like, yeah, I'll just ignore the data transfer and inbound or outbound data transfer. Okay, I'll just use the storage alone. Maybe like I'll quickly save this and view the summary also. So there are like two servers which are being used. One is EC2 instance. The other one is simple storage service. Okay, and you can see for the next 12 months, this is going to be my charge, $2,300. And at a monthly level, it's going to charge $190. Okay, that's what Amazon is going to charge me to run with this capacity. Okay, so I can export this to PDF, or I can share this with my team members or my manager. Okay, so it will give them the understanding of like what they are going to spend for next 12 months. Okay, maybe like just because we are here, I'll just show one more concept. Let's assume like so here we are saying in the payment options, we are going to use compute savings plan, which means I'm doing some kind of reservation. I'm guaranteeing that to AWS that I'm going to run the service for next 3 years. Okay, but let's say like our manager he decided that we don't want to go with compute savings plan. Okay, he don't want to make any kind of reservation to AWS. In this case, we'll be running it against the on-demand mode. On-demand in the sense like there is no reservation. Like all the instances are created on demand only. The downside to this is we'll be paying higher charge. So if you remember, like previously, it's the cost is around like $120 or $120 or something, but now the cost is $375 approximately. This is one important point for discussion with your managers. If you go with on demand, this is the cost which you are going to spend. Okay, yeah. So if you're going to use on demand, at a day level, you are going to spend around like $250 extra. Cool. So like this is something which I want to show you so that like you'll be aware of what is meant by capacity estimation and how you can generate a ballpark estimate for the service which you are going to use. I think like we came to the end of this lecture. As I mentioned, like this is a way to measure the cost. Okay, we didn't talk anything about the optimization part, so we'll cover the optimization part later, but this is like a prerequisite for that optimization session. Yeah, hopefully like you learned some good things here, and yeah, remember to set up the budgets. Okay, that is very important thing. Cool then. Yeah, happy learning. Bye bye.